October 7th, 2025. The moment the European Space Agency hit publish on a faint flickering image of 3I-ATLAS, the internet went into meltdown. A supposed interstellar comet passing near Mars. Yet what appeared on ESA's official feed wasn't a dazzling cosmic visitor, but a blurry speck wrapped in a green haze. Within hours, hashtags exploded. Reddit threads hit millions of views. But then, something far stranger happened. Silence. NASA, China, and the UAE, each with powerful eyes on Mars, went completely dark. No updates, no press briefings, not even a denial. And buried within ESA's own press release was a single line that sparked global alarm. The object's composition appears inconsistent with standard cometary chemistry, a phrase that would ignite every scientist, skeptic, and conspiracy theorist on Earth. What exactly was 3I-ATLAS, and why did every agency suddenly go quiet? 3I-ATLAS wasn't supposed to exist. By every known model, an interstellar object passing this close to Mars should have been detected months earlier, tracked, cataloged, and publicized. But its discovery came almost by accident, a faint streak in a series of wide-angle frames from Perseverance's Skycam, a humble weather monitor not designed for deep space. When NASA released that single annotated frame, the world barely noticed. A washed-out sky, a green circle, and a pixel that could have been noise. Yet behind that pixel, something didn't add up. The orbit traced backward revealed a path threading impossibly close to the Martian ecliptic, a 1 in 10,000 geometric coincidence. The object's coma showed almost no water vapor, yet glowed with a brightness inconsistent with its distance. Within hours, scientists began comparing old data. No known asteroid, no cataloged comet, no plausible capture trajectory. The only explanation left was that 3I-ATLAS came from beyond the solar system. A true interstellar visitor, only the third ever confirmed. But even that label didn't fit cleanly. The spectral readings hinted at a composition so extreme it defied classification. Nickel lines without iron. Carbon dioxide dominating almost completely. And then came the question no one wanted to ask. If this was just ice and rock, why did its chemistry read like an engineered material? In the following days, 7 spacecraft turned their instruments toward Mars, forming a rare global array of orbiters and probes. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter's high-rise camera, capable of spotting a rover's tracks, attempted to lock onto the object, but failed. Its narrow field of view couldn't catch something moving so erratically. The ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter's KSSIS system managed a faint sequence, a ghostly animation of a dim point drifting through a black field. ESA released that gift to the public, and though it looked like nothing more than static, it represented humanity's first confirmed interstellar flyby near another planet. Behind the scenes, tension spiked. Inside ESA's control rooms in Darmstadt, engineers debated whether to enhance the frames. A simple contrast stretch could have revealed more structure, but risked introducing artifacts. The principal investigator, Nick Thomas, refused. No manipulation, we publish what's real. That choice, while ethical, only deepened the mystery. The raw data was placed under a standard 6-month embargo, meaning no independent analysis could verify what ESA saw. Spectroscopists, however, leaked preliminary findings. The coma of 3I-ATLAS was 95% carbon dioxide, the highest ever recorded for any comet or interstellar object. Typical comets are water-dominated. CO2 is rare, transient. But here it was the primary gas. Then came the real shock. Atomic nickel without a trace of iron. On Earth, that ratio exists only in controlled industrial environments produced by processes involving nickel-carbonyl compounds, a volatile gas used in metallurgy. No natural comet should display such purity. By October 4th, rumors had reached fever pitch. Forums speculated that agencies were holding back anomalous chemistry. Science reporters noticed a pattern. NASA, China's CNSA, and the UAE's HOPE mission all stopped posting updates at the same time. ESA's cautious release stood alone, fueling the sense that something extraordinary, or unsettling, was being filtered. In private, scientists argued over explanations. The conservative camp said the composition could result from extreme interstellar aging. Volatile ices boiled away, leaving heavy CO2 and metals behind. Others whispered about something artificial, an engineered relic coated in volatile carbon to mimic cometary behavior. With DOTA sealed and agencies silent, theories multiplied. And for the first time since Oumuamua, the possibility that an object crossing our solar system might not be entirely natural returned to the scientific mainstream. October 7th was not just another night in space exploration. It was the convergence of 7 orbital observatories, all staring at the same target from different vantage points around Mars. Each had one chance to capture the interstellar visitor as it swept past, less than 30 million kilometers away. Every second mattered. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter prepared HiRISE's narrow optics for a risky scan. ExoMars tuned its spectrometers NOMAD and KSSACS to lock onto faint volatile traces, while China's Tianwen-1 shifted its radar to deep space tracking mode. Even the UAE's HOPE probe, normally focused on atmospheric studies, reoriented to detect any ultraviolet flares. But beneath the choreography, politics lurked. NASA's internal messages, later leaked, showed engineers pleading for clarity during the U.S. government shutdown that had frozen non-essential communications. If we lose the link tonight, one wrote, we'll lose the first interstellar data from Mars forever. Meanwhile, ESA's control center in Darmstadt maintained radio silence outside its chain of command. When the window finally opened, a 4-hour stretch when 3I-ATLAS would cross every instrument's field of view, the data flood began. Gigabytes streamed toward Earth through relay satellites, packets marked Priority Planetary Defense. Then everything stopped. By midnight GMT, the raw telemetry feeds vanished from public mirrors. Normally, at least a few quick-look engineering frames leak onto open servers. This time, nothing. ESA issued a single line confirming nominal operations, while NASA cited operational delays due to the ongoing shutdown. China and the UAE said nothing at all. For 4 days, the world's most advanced scientific fleet went dark, and that blackout became the story. Tonight's event mattered because it represented humanity's first coordinated attempt to study an interstellar body at planetary scale. Billions of dollars of technology aimed at one point in the sky, and yet not one agency would share what they found. If something extraordinary had occurred, only those teams knew it. For everyone else, the silence became deafening. And in that vacuum of information, the question spread faster than light across the internet. What did they see that the rest of us aren't allowed to? Scientists began framing the mystery through 3 competing hypotheses, each one stranger, yet still anchored in physics. The first, the safe scenario, assumed that 3I-ATLAS was indeed a natural interstellar comet, just an extreme outlier. Its 95% carbon dioxide composition, the missing iron, and its razor-straight trajectory could, in theory, be explained by age and erosion. Billions of years drifting through cosmic radiation might have stripped away lighter elements, leaving only exotic volatiles and metals. If this were true, future observations after perihelion would reveal a fading object, its gases exhausted, its brightness decaying in a predictable curve. A scientific curiosity, but nothing more. Then came the danger scenario, that Atlas wasn't inert. If its motion showed even the slightest non-gravitational acceleration, if it changed speed or orientation after passing the sun, it would suggest active control or energy release. Astronomers began running orbital simulations. The path was too precise. The plane of approach almost perfectly aligned with Mars's orbital tilt. Statistically, the odds of such a natural alignment were less than 1 in 10,000. The implications were staggering, something guiding its course. It might still be natural, a rare fragment shaped by chaotic forces, but it also could be responding to something deeper, something deliberate. And then, whispered only in late-night calls between researchers, came the extreme scenario. The idea that 3I-ATLAS wasn't a comet at all, but an engineered probe wrapped in a natural shell. A hybrid craft using volatile materials as camouflage, its CO2 outgassing functioning like propellant, steering subtly without leaving visible jets. No radio signals were detected, no reflections of structured metal, yet its chemistry read like an industrial process. Nickel separated from iron, dust polarized in patterns impossible for random grains. One researcher compared it to finding stainless steel inside a glacier. Each scenario demanded evidence that remained locked behind agency embargoes. Until those raw spectra, polarization maps, and trajectory logs were released, no one could prove or disprove any of them. Yet the internet had already chosen its favorite. Memes declared, "Atlas is listening." Hashtags like "US-engineered comet" and "US-interstellar probe" trended globally. For the first time since Oumuamua, scientists found themselves defending the border between cautious analysis and the possibility of design. As data trickled through unofficial channels, fragments of truth emerged. ESA's readings confirmed unprecedented negative polarization values, -4%, implying dust grains aligned in ways that favored backward scattering. On Earth, that optical effect appears only in finely engineered carbon composites. Coincidence? Maybe. But combined with the nickel-only spectrum, the silence of every space agency, and a trajectory threading exactly between Mars and Jupiter, the line between hypothesis and revelation grew thinner by the hour. If 3I-ATLAS turns out to be natural, it will still rewrite how we understand the chemistry of comets, interstellar materials, and the formation of planetary systems. But if it is not, if even a fraction of the anomalies hint at artificial design, then this object changes everything. Overnight, it would transform astronomy into archaeology. The sky would become a museum of lost technologies, and every future comet would be suspect. Space agencies are already preparing contingency reports. ESA's Planetary Defense Office drafted an internal memo suggesting a new category: interstellar engineered object, a term never meant for public release. Ethicists at NASA have raised another issue. Who owns the data? When a discovery blurs the line between nature and intelligence, can one nation control the narrative? The Perseverance frame, the ESA animation, the embargoed spectra. Each sits on servers bound by jurisdiction. Scientists argue for open data, while political committees quietly discuss classification. Meanwhile, the philosophical impact is harder to contain. If 3I-ATLAS carries even a trace of intelligent origin, it forces a question our species has never had to answer. What if the universe isn't empty, just quiet? Are we observing the debris of a civilization long gone, or the instrument of one that still listens? Either way, the discovery would end the era when humanity saw itself as the only watcher in the dark. The implications extend beyond science. Religion, economics, defense. Every pillar of society is built on the assumption that intelligent life is local. A confirmed engineered object would shatter that foundation. Funding priorities would shift from exploration to contact, from research to surveillance. Private space companies, already racing to launch telescopes, would turn into intelligence networks, and every amateur astronomer pointing a lens at the night sky would become part of a silent investigation into the oldest question in history. Are we alone? Even in the most conservative scenario, the message is clear. The next interstellar object will not be treated like a curiosity. It will be watched, dissected, and debated under a lens sharpened by Atlas's mystery. The silence of the agencies has already taught the world something profound. That discovery can be as frightening as it is thrilling. Behind every pixel, every embargoed spectrum, there are humans staring at their monitors long after midnight. In Pasadena, a handful of NASA engineers refused to clock out, sleeping beside servers humming under emergency power during the shutdown. One of them, Mallory Leffeland, the same operations lead who insisted Skycam keep running when budgets froze, later said, "We didn't know what we were looking at, but we knew it mattered." Across the Atlantic, in Darmstadt, ESA technicians passed around paper printouts of faint graphs under fluorescent light. No one spoke much. They didn't have to. The curves rising on those plots already told a story words couldn't. On online astronomy forums, amateurs set up auto-tracking rigs, hoping to catch a glimpse. Many failed, some saw only static. But the act itself, thousands of people around the planet trying to witness the same invisible thing, became part of the phenomenon. They shared calibration files, compared noise patterns, whispered about data suppression. It wasn't conspiracy, it was community. The science world had gone silent, so the public filled the void. Inside ESA's control center, a small team of interns wrote scripts to cross-check the nickel spectra against public databases. They found no match. "There's nothing like it," one said quietly. Across NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, whiteboards filled with notes: nickel without iron, CO2 coma 95%, negative polarization -4. Each phrase circled in red. "Find me a natural model that fits this," a senior scientist challenged, and no one could. Even outside the labs, night shift workers, data archivists, radio telescope volunteers, all stayed awake, refreshing telemetry feeds that never came. These weren't faceless institutions, they were people bound by curiosity, exhaustion, and an unspoken understanding that something historic was unfolding in silence. Whether the truth behind 3I-ATLAS proves ordinary or extraordinary, they are the ones who carried it through the blackout. And somewhere between their sleepless nights and the faint glow of a distant dot over Mars, humanity glimpsed not just a comet, but its own reflection, a species desperate to understand what it's seeing. As dawn breaks on another Martian morning, the silence continues. The raw data from every orbiter remains locked behind layers of review, and the world waits for a signal, not from space, but from the agencies holding the truth. Somewhere, on a secure ESA server, lies a set of numbers that could either close the case or open an entirely new chapter in human history. Yet outside the walls of control rooms, humanity has already changed. For the first time, millions of ordinary people followed a comet as if it were a breaking news story, debated its chemistry as if it were politics, and stared into the night sky searching for meaning. What happens next depends on what the data reveal after perihelion. After 3I-ATLAS reemerges from behind the sun, if the spectra confirms something mundane, relief will ripple through the scientific world. But if even one parameter defies natural explanation, if the nickel persists, if the polarization remains impossible, then the greatest paradigm shift in modern science may have already begun. Perhaps that's why the agencies are silent, not to hide the truth, but to understand it before it escapes them. For now, all we can do is wait. The universe, vast and ancient, doesn't rush its answers. Whether 3I-ATLAS is rock, ice, or something designed, it has already done what few objects ever could. It made humanity look up again. Tomorrow's data might confirm the ordinary or unveil the extraordinary, but tonight, one truth stands beyond debate. The cosmos still holds secrets that science alone cannot explain. And as the faint green dot fades behind the solar glare, the question remains: was it just a comet, or the first whisper from intelligence beyond our own?